Yeah, I mean, ETH tends to lag Bitcoin by one cycle, but certainly, as you say, the tokenomics have changed so much, and now, the more Ethereum gets used, the more ETH gets burned, and therefore, the less there is available. So in terms of price, I mean, where are we now? We're sort of hovering around the $2,000 mark. I think we could go to top of the next cycle. I think we could go I would be targeting around 5K sort of minimum, but I think it could get as high as maybe, I'm not sure 10K necessarily. I think it could get as high as maybe 8K at the top of this cycle. One thing I think is worth bearing in mind, though, is that even though we've got, all this network activity happening on Ethereum, we've also got all these layer 2s building on Ethereum as well, which don't necessarily result in the burning of ETH. So that could be something to bear in mind. But again, it all feeds into just how massive Ethereum is. So yeah, I'm confident that, bright days ahead for Ethereum. And yeah, whether we get to 10K, I'm not sure, but I think 5K would be fairly not too unrealistic.
How high will Ethereum go in 2024? That's exactly what crypto expert Guy Turner answered in his latest interview. You may recognize Guy as he's the host of YouTube's largest crypto channel, Coin Bureau. Guy has been making educational crypto content for over 5 years. In terms of crypto and its cycles, he's seen it all. So how high does he think Ethereum will go? He believes in the next bull market, Ethereum will realistically hit between $5,000 to $8,000. Why does he think it will get that high? Guy points to 2 reasons. First off, Ethereum is massive, with so many applications and use cases being built on top of it. The second reason is thanks to the Merge and Ethereum's burn mechanism. The more that the Ethereum network is used, the more Ethereum is burned. The equation is simple. Decreasing Ethereum supply plus increasing demand equals higher prices. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Guy unpacks his entire outlook for the next bull cycle and why this may be the last exponential cycle we get. Also guys, if you want to stay most up to date on the crypto and Bitcoin world, make sure to subscribe to my daily 5-minute crypto newsletter. It gives the latest expert predictions, any breaking news, and top on-chain analysis all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description to join over 25,000 others in becoming a better crypto investor right now. Now here's Guy with his crypto outlook.
2024 is going to be a big year, I think. If everything goes as it's kind of expected to go and we get ETF approval in January, that will be great for the market. We'll see big price action for Bitcoin, and I think that will eventually feed into ETH and altcoins. So a spot ETF will definitely, I think, pump the market. Another thing to look out for, I think, is in March when SBF is sentenced. Now, obviously he's been found guilty. That chapter is kind of closing, but I do think that could be a big moment that, we get that sort of final closure on SBF. He's sent off to prison for however long. And I hope that that moment sort of changes people's outlook on crypto, because, this has been such a huge story. When you step out of the crypto bubble, everyone else, they're only, the only thing they're really aware of when it comes to crypto is TX and Sam Bankman-Fried. And I think hopefully putting that to bed, so to speak, will be a moment where people sort of focus, on more positive aspects of crypto. We should hopefully have an ETF by that point. And then, of course, the following month, April, is when the halving is scheduled to happen. And historically, this has been a narrative that mainstream media are kind of better able to understand with Bitcoin. The supply gets cut in half. So those supply and demand dynamics come into play. That is a fairly easy narrative to understand. It's a fairly easy narrative to report on. So I would hope, what with a potentially, most likely spot ETFs available for Bitcoin, Sam Bankman-Fried not troubling us for many decades to come, and, the halving, I would think that should hopefully change the narrative around Bitcoin and crypto more widely. And I think that is when, we can start really sort of dreaming of a proper bull market coming around. I've heard a few people say this theory that, eventually what with things like ETFs, what with TradFi products, what with increased regulation, and what with greater adoption, and I think understanding of what crypto is, I think inevitably it is going to become a more traditional, a more sedate asset class over time. The reason crypto is so crazy, that has been so crazy for many years, the reason you see these wild price swings, especially in altcoins, is that no one really really knows how to value these projects. Like, there's a huge amount of potential, but no one really knows what, if that potential is going to translate into anything, and if it does, what it could actually be worth. So, we've seen this absolutely mad price action over the years, and I think we're still sort of in that phase at the moment. We're still in this discovery phase. But as you say, as ETFs come along and as regulations come along as well, I think the sector is going to cool. Well, it's going to become less exciting. It's going to become less frothy. We're still going to see amazing projects developing. We're still going to see, money coming into it. And I think we're going to see crypto become more and more a part of everyday life. But I think the payoff of that is that it does become less crazy. So yeah, I think this could be one of the last big bull cycles that we see. And after that, it becomes a little more palatable for, kind of regular mom and pop investors, perhaps. Yeah, we are at the beginning. It's a meme, isn't it? It's a cliche of crypto is we're still early, but we are, we're still kind of figuring out what all this is and what it can do. And yeah, the dot-com bubble is the perfect example. We had this new technology come along. Everyone was really excited about it, but no one really knew what it could do. No one really even appreciated. I think everyone kind of got excited, but didn't, almost sort of underestimated what it was going to be. Then the bubble burst. A lot of people lost a lot of money. A lot of people were pretty traumatized by it. And as you say, eventually it sort of reinvented itself a little bit and came back as something rather different and went on to be, the biggest growth sector of, we've ever seen. So yeah, we're still sort of at that stage with crypto. I think we're still figuring out what exactly it is. Yeah, I think now is the time to buy Bitcoin. I really do. I bought some myself recently. I topped up my stack a few days ago. Obviously, I wish I'd done it sooner. Maybe when it was chopping around sort of 25k and no one was really interested or paying attention. But then suddenly this ETF narrative came along and caught a lot of people, myself included, by surprise. But yeah, look, we've got big institutional players lining up, and the reason that they're lining up is because their clients want it. BlackRock is filing for a spot Bitcoin ETF because its clients have asked them for it, and ditto all these other asset managers as well. There is huge pent-up demand for Bitcoin, and when these ETFs launch, they may not be, out of the gates, they may not be kind of what everyone's expecting. I'm not sure if we would kind of shoot to new all-time highs straight away, but yeah, over time, more and more people are going to want exposure to Bitcoin. There is a lot of money sitting there that will eventually get allocated to Bitcoin. And I think, we will look back and go, do you remember when Bitcoin was below 40K? Wow. So I think now it is perhaps as good a time as any. So this is something I learned from the last cycle, is that if you're wanting to get into crypto, and if you're already in crypto, let's say, and you're wanting to get into sort of various coins and tokens, one thing I found really useful was to have multiple exchange accounts. Because, let's say you want to go after maybe a small cap altcoin or something like that. It's only going to be available on a handful of exchanges. And when things get really crazy, signups for these exchanges are going to take a long time. Obviously, it's not as easy as it once was. Pretty much all of them require KYC of some description now. So I think as we get ready for the bull market, I think a really wise move to make is to get yourself signed up on a variety of exchanges, get all that KYC stuff done, make sure you've got your fiat on and off ramps in place, make sure that you can get, dollars, pounds, euros, whatever, into crypto and get them back out again if you need to. And I think do that housekeeping, make sure everything's kind of ready to go, because you don't want to be doing that sort of stuff when everything's frothy, when, tens of thousands of people a day are trying to sign up to Coinbase, for instance. Chances are that sign up process is going to become a lot more drawn out, and you don't want to be sitting there going, I can only get this token on this exchange, but they haven't approved my KYC yet, and I'm just watching the price go up and to the right. So I think, that's something I learned from last cycle. Get your house in order, get your ducks in a row, and that will make the bull run a lot less stressful for you. 2024 is going to be big. Crypto is slowly but surely getting past some of these big hurdles. There is so much good news on the horizon, but we should never forget what's happened in the last couple of years. We should never rule out the fact there could be another FTX-like disaster. So although I'm really bullish on the crypto ecosystem over the next 12 months, although I think we're going to see, if not the bull market actually sort of come to a peak, I think probably more likely to see a build up over the year. So enjoy that that. Make sure you do your research into projects that you're considering getting into. And as you said earlier, make sure you practice, basically hope for the best, expect the worst. And I think you should be okay.
Hope for the best, expect the worst. Great advice. Guy's forecast of Ethereum reaching between $5,000 and $8,000 is based on solid reasoning, including the platform's expansive applications and the impact of the Merge and Ethereum's burn mechanism. Remember, the crypto market is dynamic and constantly evolving. Guy's experience, drawn from years of experience, offers a valuable perspective. If you found Guy's outlook insightful and you want to stay ahead in the crypto game, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We bring you daily updates, expert insights, and comprehensive analysis that is essential for any crypto investor. Also, for a quick yet thorough overview of the crypto world, consider subscribing to my daily 5-minute crypto newsletter. It's a fantastic resource to stay updated with the latest trends, news, and expert opinions, helping you make informed investment decisions. The best part, it's completely free. Anyway guys, hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.